Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be. This is Dr. Jeff, Dr. C, Dr. Zarnick, ringing in the Associate Dean of the Department of Criminal Justice here at our great Southern New Hampshire University Global. And I hope all is well with everyone as we get through what we've had to get through for the last 9, 10 plus weeks. I just took yesterday off, and I tell you, I really needed it. I'm sure everyone does too. You've got to take some time to yourself. That's very, very critical, especially in times like these when we're stressed, but sometimes it's kind of ill-defined. Why are we feeling tired? Why are we feeling exhausted? Why are we trying to do all these things at the same time? Do you notice that your time and how your rituals have changed? The markers in your day have changed. Okay, but you still have obligations to others. You have obligations, maybe you're taking more than one course, you're working. In fact, most of our students have a lot to do at the same time, like a lot of our great faculty. You know, they're teaching, they're consulting, they're writing, they're out on the street, they're first responders, etc. They're in court, as you well know. So everyone is busy, and we want to do things the best we possibly can. Right? If you are in a class, you want to get an A. You want to focus in about how do you get to that level? How do you really put together quality work while you have all these other things going on? You ever hear the phrase multitasking? Well, there's a lot of research out there that basically says, gang, that's a myth. Okay? The brain is not equipped to do that. Okay, to any degree of, say, or expected level of expertise or success. And there's a lot of research out there. So let me read a little piece here, and this is going to be from a researcher by the name of Manfred J. Schindler. Other people have written about this too as well, those people who are in tune with brain and are learning science. Basically, the bottom line is if you're trying to do more than one thing at the same time, one of those things is going to suffer. It's not going to get your entire, say, level of energy and focus. Something else will take that place. So multitasking is a term that comes from computer technology. It's when a computer handles more than one task at once instead of taking tasks sequentially. If a computer has only one CPU, multitasking is an illusion. A new task is allowed to start before the previous one has been completed, but instantaneously the CPU can only do one thing at a time. So how does this work in people? It's been shown, according to this researcher and others, that people are limited to handling one thing at a time. Now, many of you are saying, oh, wait a minute, that's impossible in my life. We'll get to that in a second, because I know what that's like. We're all in the same boat. Multitasking really just means jumping from one task to another. The problem is we work much less efficiently that way. Right? We can breathe and we can walk at the same time, but for tasks requiring mental processing, right, your classwork, we're limited to one task at a time. Worse yet, the inefficiency of jumping from one task to another means we can't even create the illusion of multitasking. Okay? Think about that when we talk about, texting and driving. But we are talking about the allocation, okay, of your mind's energy. Do you ever notice after you've taken a long test, you've written a long paper, you're exhausted, all right? Your focus and your mind is really taking a lot of your physical energy, the stress, everything else like this coming together at the same time because you're focusing in on that. But do you ever notice, think about the successes you've had. When you've done something really, really well, in all likelihood now, you weren't doing something else at the same time. Now that's really hard to do. Okay. Now, a lot of people say, I need to manage my time well so that when I have the free time, I can devote all of this mind's energy to focusing on that one task. The problem is it's not about time management. It's about the management of your energy in order to focus in on that one task. Very difficult to do. I'm not saying this is easy, right? You get home after a long day, take care of the kids, you make the mac and cheese, get in the bed and say, now it's 9 o'clock, 9:30. I'm ready to go because now I have the time. But man, I am wiped out. I'm not sure if I have the mental energy to allocate, to deliver, to deploy, to apply to this very important assignment that means so much to me because I've got to get through this course to get towards my degree, to my version, your version of success is to finish. So think about that. When are your high energy levels? When are they at their peak? And how can you redefine or reschedule certain things, obligations you may have to others or whatnot, so you can take that time where your energy is at its highest, your mental energy and your ability to focus for that duration of time, okay, is at its peak. Okay. Now, the other part of this I want to leave you with is the fact that on average, and this is according to research, not the world according to me, on average, the adult only has around 10 or 12, say, sequential minutes. So you can string together 10 minutes of solid and focused attention. Then we are distracted. The mind is constantly looking for things. It's curious. That's what we want to know, and we get distracted. There's no question about it. But on average, it's about 10 to 12 minutes. So when you're approaching that assignment, don't think of it in terms of hours. Think of it in terms of how many chunks of 10 minutes you can apply. So you do your reading, you do some writing, 10 minutes, falls back, take a deep breath. Get a drink of water, whatever you got to do. Take a deep breath, let the mind come back, okay? Then you can go back into your assignment. So think about it in chunks. The next thing you know, you haven't worn yourself out, and you may have completed a quality assignment, okay, that helps you become successful. Thanks for listening. We have your back. We're excited for everyone. Things are going to get better. We're going to do great. Have a great week.